Everybody, welcome to Tech Tutorial Monday. And I was thinking about what to do for this week, and that's part of the reason why this is once again so late. Another part is that it's just been a very long day. I don't know how, the first really long day of the year just ends up being like the longest. I got no sleep last night, and then I was just talking to friends of mine, and it seems like that went around. But anyway, I was trying to think about what it is that I could do today, just sort of a short tip for you. And last weekend, I worked on this thing for a client of mine. I'm setting up his HoneyBook account, or at least optimizing it. And he had a wedding show this weekend on Sunday. And so I said, we can do this thing, which you can do in HoneyBook, where you can create a contact form specifically for an event and then give the link to that contact form out. And so I said, you can either have it on your, he was like, oh, well, can I put it on my iPad? I'm like, yeah, you can have it on your iPad, but you can also make it so you can shorten it and just give it to people so it's really easy for them to remember, and they can put it on their phones, especially in these days of like coronavirus. Like having somebody put in their information on your grimy iPad might not be so great. And so he tried it this weekend and it looked like it worked. I was just looking at his account. He got like a whole like fistful of names. But then I also thought, that's something that you could do if you don't have a CRM as well, because everybody pretty much has a contact page. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So this is my website, obviously. Come by and visit. But for instance, let's do this. So you go to contact, and you have your contact page, right? So it's elizabethcoopersmith.com/contact2. And it has all the information that I would capture from anybody at a show just to figure out what is it they want, what is they're looking for. Now, say for instance that you have a contact page, but you also have a special that you're running at your booth or your open house, or any of the things that are going to be going on all this rest of winter and spring and everything, where you have a table and people are coming by and you want to give them your information as quickly as possible. So you can take your contact page and either change it up a little bit or do just copy it and do a new page if that's something that you're good with doing. But you can use your contact form, right? And then follow up as you need to. So you have your contact form, and then just to make it a little bit easier and maybe a little bit, funner, but a little bit easier to remember, you can copy this. There's actually a couple ways to do it. I have a tinyurl up here, so generally I have to click it, but you can also just pull up tinyurl. Make sure I copy this properly. Go to tinyurl, go in here, make a tinyurl, and it'll give you a tiny little URL that you can copy and send out and everything. That's basically this page. I'll show you. That's the same page. And there you go. But what you can also do, because that's no fun, like what the hell is that? Remember I was telling you in one of my tips a couple weeks ago that, if you're going to do a URL to your page, make it something that's easy to remember. It makes sense. So you can also take that long URL, go down here to tinyurl, enter in the long URL, and then make a custom alias. So it'll be tinyurl.com/ for this one, we'll just say Ask Liz. And then make tinyurl. And then let's see. Open a new window. And there you go. So I think we made his like contact photo booth mania or something like that. I'll have to check it again. But yeah, so it's very simple. It's very easily rememberable, and something that you can just say off the cuff. Instead of ElizabethCoopersmithConsulting.com, and half of that people are going to have to spell, don't know how to spell. You can just say it is. Go to my contact page, and I will send you. And here's the important thing: that I will send you my bridal show specials or whatever it is that you follow up with people at these shows. So go to tinyurl.com/askliz, and I'll send you my specials on website management, something like that, I would say. And then what happens is they go in, they fill out the contact form. Beforehand, you've already made a response to it. Either you've made a response to it, or basically all of these will just go into your mailbox, and then you can figure out what it is that you want to do from there. So one of the things that you can do is when you are doing either a contact form on your website or a contact form through HoneyBook or Dubsado or a CRM, is actually manage what the response is. So when people contact you, and this is something to check if you don't have a CRM, when people contact you, what is it that they're getting back? Or do they just get back an email that says, thank you for contacting me, I'll get back to you as soon as possible? Do they get something? Does it just go to a page that says, thanks for contacting me, we'll get back to you? And then you've got to get the email and then respond to them. If there's a way to automate that to make it easier, it's a little bit easier. But one of the things that I'm working with him on, or worked on him with, is through HoneyBook. What you can do is you can set up, a workflow where the contact form for that specific event goes in, and they automatically get sent a brochure with his specials. And then there's also a follow-up to that a couple of days later. Here's the specials again. Please let me know if you want to set up an appointment. Here's a link to set up an appointment, stuff like that. But that's also something that you can create yourself in a non-CRM format. If you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and talk to me about that. But anyway, he did really well. He got I think it was a couple of dozen people. It wasn't that big a show. A couple of dozen people who actually filled out the form. The last time I checked, I'll have to check again. But he was happy with the result. They all went into the system with HoneyBook. Everything goes into a workflow, so everything's there, and then you can talk to people however it is that you want. You can follow up with them however it is you want, all together at one, and all together or separately, and then see also their interactions. So yeah. I just thought that was really cool, and like I said, I really love the fact that there's something that you could do with a non-CRM basis too. It's just a matter of coughing, not coronavirus, just allergies. I swear. It's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. I mean, everything is, as Marie Forleo says, is figure outable, and this is just an easy way to manage wedding shows, just because they can get really convoluted. There's all this stuff going on at once. So as much as you can simplify that process, the better. So if you have any questions, you can go to my Instagram. Where this presentation is going to be probably by tomorrow. And if you have any questions, you can message me directly on Instagram. I'm also setting up appointments for that as well. So if you need help, just holler at me or email me directly at elizabethcoopersmith@gmail.com. Have a good week, you guys. Bye.